Our first guest, ladies and gentlemen, on the Late Show tonight is a talented actor, and many times has heard to scream, "Get Don Ho off me!" He's starring in a brand new film entitled "I Think You Freaky and I Like You a Lot."
I love that.
Easy. The movie is entitled Safe House. It opens Friday. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Ryan Reynolds, everybody. Welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. Great to be here. Always great to be here.
You know, last night Denzel Washington was here, and he's been on the program many, many times.
Yep.
And when you watch him on the screen, everybody does, he's fantastic.
He is.
Very engaging. And when he's here...
He's in the union. Yeah, he's very good. Yeah.
He's the guy. You know, when he comes into the room, he's the guy. Make no mistake about it. It's, you know, he's running the show. What is it like now? He seems like a tremendous kid.
He is. I wouldn't characterize him as a tremendous kid to his face, but he's great. He's incredibly professional. He's an intense guy. I mean,
had you met him before the film?
I met him one time before, and he didn't remember that.
I wouldn't take that hard.
No.
He meets a lot of people.
I felt okay about that. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And but to act with the guy, I mean, he makes it look effortless.
He does. You know, he's really intense. I mean, we did these sequences, these car chases, and I know he talked a little bit about it last night. But you know, we did a scene in a car. It's driving 80 miles an hour in Cape Town, South Africa. Really intense car chase, and Denzel Washington is in the back seat, and he's trying to choke me to death. I don't even...
In this movie, you get choked quite a lot. I mean, you mentioned you crushed my windpipe. It looks like you're getting your windpipe crushed.
Choking hazard on the film, yes. Definitely a choking hazard on the movie. He's in the back seat. He's just choking the hell out of me, as you do a lot in this film. And you know, the car is zigging and zagging, and it's all over the place. And somehow, some way, I felt the back of my head connect with something tall, dark, and expensive.
Oh.
And and we stopped the car, and I looked around, and there was Denzel Washington staring a hole through my face.
Yeah.
And on his face, he had a very large, growing, golf ball-sized welt.
You mentioned that.
He did mention that.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah.
I'm aware of that.
You banged his face with your head.
I banged I banged his face very, very hard with my head, which for a young actor, that doesn't feel good. I didn't know what to do in the moment. You know, I didn't know if I should call for help. Not for him, for me. I didn't know what. I had no idea what the protocol is for something like that.
Well,
so
I would think he'd kind of get a kick out of it, right?
Yeah, no. I'm panicking at this point. I mean, I'm having a real sort of fight or flight reflex that's kicking in here. I don't know whether to run away or find something sharp and just stab him to death. And I'm
actually stab him.
Yeah, just because eliminate the danger.
Yeah,
the idea there.
No, that would have been a bad choice, really.
You know, but I did this, and it was apparent to everyone involved, especially Denzel, that I'd given him a very black eye. And so, you know, thankfully he was very, very, very gracious about it. He gave me a look like, you know, can you believe you just gave Denzel Washington a black eye?
But I mean, I got a couple of questions here. Is this the kind of thing that maybe stunt men could have been doing, and then nobody gets hurt? And why are you driving a car in Cape Town, South Africa, at 80 miles an hour?
We all felt that way. You know, that was, you know, It was pretty nutty. I think that's part of the reason they shot in Cape Town. The movie takes place there, but it's a little, maybe just a touch looser over there.
They're happy to have your business.
Yeah, so we're doing this, but you know, he was very gracious about it. But what the worst part was that several takes later, we're doing this again, and I don't know what happened. Maybe the car lurched the wrong way, or God hates me. I don't know what, but I did it again. And we stopped, and I'm usually pretty quick with my words, But again, I had nothing.
Yeah.
I looked back, and it was like the entire universe took a dump in my skull. And
wow.
I just.
Wow, you are good with your words.
I got a bass chord.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Say that on television, right? And I looked at him, and he's looking at me like strike two, and I said, it really evens out your face, you know. And he appreciated that.
Yeah, I think so. How could you not?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But when these are all stunts, but what when you're like in a scene, you know, dialogue and some action? What is that like? I mean, because you're a fine actor yourself.
Thank you, sir.
You don't need to worry about Denzel Washington.
I do.
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's intense. I mean, it's not like, you know, working with Regis Philbin or someone like that. I mean,
have you done films with Regis?
I've worked. We've done some buddy comedies.
Yeah.
No, he's very, very intense. I mean, I heard you were holding hands with him last night on the show.
He has that.
That's like third base for Denzel Washington. That's big.
Well, thank you very much.
That's huge.
Yes, we weren't really holding hands. I sort of stroked his hand.
Yeah, I heard he just moved away.
Yeah, he couldn't take it. He had to get out.
Yeah, no, he's an intense fellow. I mean, we did another sequence in the film, which was later on, a few weeks later, and it was probably the most intense, emotional scene in the film. And his character is supposed to reveal something to me that's quite profound, and he's kind of fallen apart. He's very injured. He's sitting on the ground, and I'm sitting on the ground next to him. And earlier in the day, you know, he doesn't talk much on set. He's a method actor. You know, he's in character, isn't he? Well, he is, and that's what makes him probably the finest actor in Hollywood today. I mean, he's incredible. So but he knocks on my trailer, on my dressing room door, and he says, you know, can I run this scene with you real quick? And I'm like, what? I ripping my Denzel Washington poster down, and like, you know, yes, come on in, you know, and he's fine. He ran the scene, and you know, it was this beautiful, beautiful scene, and then we went out to go shoot it, and you know, he's on the ground, he's injured. There's all these stunt guys that are dead around us, and it's a really intense piece of business here. And I'm sitting next to him, and in the movie, my character has an iPhone, and I also have an iPhone, and somehow they switched.
Oh, the prop phone and your real phone.
The prop phone and the real phone switched. So I'm there, he's doing the scene, it's gorgeous, and I guess my bony little ass is pressing the button on the phone.
Oh, no,
yeah. And he's doing the scene, and with Denzel, you know, you get one or two takes, and it's brilliant, and then you move on. And I'm pressing this button, and suddenly I hear, "Come fly with me, come fly, let's fly away." And I guess I activated the iPod on the thing, so there's music now playing in the scene. He's
Frank
doing
Sinatra singing "Come Fly with Me."
You know. Fate works in mysterious ways, and so I want to be legally dead at this point. This
has ruined the scene.
No, and I'm not going down with strike three here either. So I got a plan. But this is happening. This is bad. I'm hearing rumblings behind the camera. People are kind of freaking out. Denzel just keeps going. Yeah. I don't know. He just finishes out the scene. It's this gorgeous thing. And right at the end of the scene, they call cut, and you just hear everyone freak out behind the camera. Who the hell's cell phone is that? Denzel looks over and goes, "Who the hell's cell phone is that?" They all look at me, and I just stand up, and I'm like, "Who the cell phone is that?"
Good.
Come on.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you can do. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he doesn't know about this.
Yeah, no.
Until just now.
It's fine. The movie turned out great. We'll be right back with Ryan Reynolds. There he is, right there. What do you now? You're originally from Vancouver. We're talking about that today.
Canada,
do you still have family there? I know we've covered this. Do you go home often?
Yeah. I went there for Christmas break, and that was nice. I got a couple of weeks off, so I went up there and spent Christmas with the family, and then. We talked about it last time I was on here. I love road trips, so I actually was off to Montana for New Year's. My friends of mine were having a little New Year's party. So as I was leaving, I was driving in the car and you know, heading out, and they called and they said, "There's the greatest pie shop in the world is in Vancouver. Could you pick up a dozen of these things and bring them over there, you know?
You're talking about like pie, like apple
like
pie,
apple
cherry
pie, cherry pie, all that, you know, good stuff. So I said, sure. So I started going over there. And now, I got to preface with the fact that, like, I get really uncomfortable when people, sometimes they'll come up and they'll start to do a scene from, like, a movie I did 100 years ago.
no.
Yeah,
Really?
no, and it's fine. It's not because I don't want to do it. I'm just, like, shy. I get, you know, a little shy, and I don't know the words anymore.
Right.
It's all awkward and weird. And, but anyway, I go and I pick up these pies, and I get in the car, and I'm driving, and I'm heading toward the border crossing, the border heading to the United States. And I'm getting closer and closer and closer, and I kind of remember that, you know, you're not allowed to bring fruits and vegetables across the border. That's
really not
that's
even in pie form.
Not even in pie form.
You can't bring a pie into the United States. Well, the terrorists have won,
yeah,
haven't they? Yeah.
They really have.
Can't bring a pie in.
Yep.
Nice going.
Yep. True enough.
So do you surrender them at the border?
Well, I was really late getting out of there, so I just thought I'd go with some good old-fashioned lying, and but the problem is I'm a terrible liar. I mean, given my chosen profession, I think I'd be pretty good at it. But when I lie, like my voice goes north, my face goes south. It's just terrible. So I'm getting up to the border, and the guy gets to the border patrol guy. He looks at me and he says, are you carrying any, you know, firearms or anything illegal like that? I said, no. And he says, are you carrying any fruits or vegetables or anything like that? I said, no. At least that's how it sounds in my head when I do it. And he just looks at me for what felt like an hour. And I'm looking back at him, and I don't know how this is going to go. And he basically just sort of leans in and he says, you know, my wife and I, every Christmas, we watch that movie you did called Just Friends. And we love it. And thank you. And he says, what's that scene at the end of the movie where you sing the song? You know the song? And he's looking at me, and it's clear that he can tell I'm just full of it, right? So what's really happening is he's looking at me and he's just saying, I know you're lying. Dance, monkey.
That's what they do at the border.
Yeah.
They do that a lot, especially the Canadian border.
Yeah. So I basically white knuckle it. I clear my throat, and I launch into it. It was from the movie. It was a '90s hit by All for One called "I Swear." Great group. And I launch it. I swear by the moon and the stars in the sky, I'll be there, I swear. I don't know any more words. Yeah, I forgot already. And he just, I mean, I'm dying. He looks at me and just says, that's great. Welcome back to America. He lets me on in, and I
come on in with your illegal pies.
I cruise on in, and
let's look at the clip here, Ryan. It opens on Friday. What are we going to look at? Is this the strangulation, the head bump scene?
I think this is another scene where I'm probably strangled.
Okay, take a look. Safe House, Ryan Reynolds, Denzel Washington. Oh, you see? And that's not even Denzel. Well, Ryan, nice to see you again.
Always a pleasure, Dave. Thank you very much.
Have a great year with the film, and all my best for everything.
Thank you.
Ryan Reynolds, ladies and gentlemen, from Safe House. We'll be right back with Ellie Spencer. Nice going, Ryan. Thank you.